Hello and welcome everyone. I hope you are in good health. I am your chemistry teacher and today in this video we are going to continue chapter water, and under this chapter today we will study some important terms. These are crystals, crystallization, hydrated salts, anhydrous salts, deliquescence, hygroscopy, drying and dehydrating agents. But before studying these terms, you must have some knowledge about two types of solids, that is crystalline and amorphous solids. In crystalline solids, there is regular arrangement of constituent particles due to which the crystalline solids have a well-defined geometrical shape. But in amorphous solids, there is no any regular arrangement of constituent particles due to which they don't have a well-defined geometrical shape. In crystalline solids, the particles occur as crystals. So crystals are defined as the homogeneous solids having definite geometric shape, smooth plane surfaces meeting at sharp edges. For example, sodium chloride occurs in the form of cubic crystals. When we add these solid crystals in solvent like water, they dissolve in water to form solution. If you have seen the previous video, then just recall that most of the solutions में से हम इस dissolved salt को कैसे separate कर सकते हैं? कैसे कर सकते हैं? By cooling the saturated solution. So, if we separate the crystals from hot saturated solution by cooling it slowly, this process is called crystallization. There are some more methods of obtaining crystals like slowly evaporating the saturated solution or cooling a fused mass or sublimation etc. But now we don't have to do them in detail. अच्छा, इसके बाद you must have seen that sometimes we write dot 5H2O, dot 10H2O with the formulae of some compounds. हम डॉट H2O उन कंपाउंड्स के फॉर्मूले के साथ लिखते हैं जिनके मॉलिक्यूल्स के साथ वाटर के कुछ मॉलिक्यूल्स कंबाइन होते हैं, बट ये वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स लूजली कंबाइन होते हैं एंड दीज वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स फॉर्म एन एसेंशियल पार्ट ऑफ द क्रिस्टल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ दीज कंपाउंड्स. Means such compounds have crystalline structure due to the presence of water molecules. For example, if we write CuSO4.5H2O, then it means इस कॉपर सल्फेट कंपाउंड में हर एक CuSO4 मॉलिक्यूल के साथ 5 वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स कंबाइन होंगे and its structure is crystalline. This fixed number of water molecules which are in loose chemical combination with substance or salt is called water of crystallization. And such salts in which water of crystallization is present are called hydrated salts. तो hydrated salts क्या हैं? जिनमें water of crystallization present है. Now, if water is heated to 100 degrees Celsius or above, then what happens? The water will change from liquid state to vapor state. Right? On this basis only, just think, if we heat hydrated crystalline solid above 100 degrees Celsius, then what will happen? On heating them, the water of crystallization is given out. Now see, if we remove some molecules from crystalline solid, then the ordered arrangement of molecules will be lost. So it will become amorphous. Sometimes it also happens that the color of a salt is due to the presence of water of crystallization in it. And therefore on heating, such salts lose their color and become white. For example, green vitriol, that is hydrated ferrous sulfate, is green in color, which on heating turns white. Also, blue vitriol, that is copper sulfate crystals, are blue in color. And if we heat copper sulfate crystals in any test tube, it changes into white color. Then we have anhydrous substances. Its meaning is opposite to that of hydrated substances. तो अगर hydrated substances में water of crystallization होता है, it means anhydrous substances में वो नहीं होगा. So anhydrous substances are defined as the substances which do not contain fixed number of water molecules as water of crystallization in a loose chemical combination with the substances. Potassium nitrate, potassium chloride, copper sulfate etc. are some of the anhydrous substances. The next term is efflorescence. There are some hydrated salts जिनको अगर एटमॉस्फेयर में बिना कवर किए रख दिया जाए तो they start losing water of crystallization. And if they lose water of crystallization, then you know very well कि क्या होगा. होगा ये that they will change from crystalline to amorphous. This property of such substances is called efflorescence. Therefore, certain hydrated crystalline salts, when exposed to the atmosphere at ordinary temperature, lose their water of crystallization partly or completely and become amorphous. This property is called efflorescence, and the substances or the salts which show this property are called efflorescent salts. Efflorescence is maximum when the temperature is high or the atmosphere is dry. नाउ अगर वाटर लूज करने वाले सब्सटेंसेस होते हैं तो वाटर एब्जॉर्ब करने वाले भी होते होंगे. यस, सच सब्सटेंसेस आल्सो एग्जिस्ट. दीज आर डिलिक्विसेंट एंड hygroscopic substances. Certain substances, when exposed to atmosphere at ordinary temperature, absorb moisture from air and इतना ज़्यादा moisture absorb कर लेते हैं, means इतना water absorb कर लेते हैं कि उसी में dissolve होके saturated solution बना लेते हैं. Such substances are called deliquescent substances, and this property is called deliquescence. Deliquescence is maximum when the temperature is low or atmosphere is humid or the vapor pressure of the substance is much lower than the atmospheric pressure. Some of you must have seen that during rainy season or during humid atmosphere, sodium chloride, that is the common salt, become moist. So does it mean that sodium chloride is deliquescent? Actually, pure sodium chloride is not deliquescent. It becomes moist because the salt that is used at homes contains impurities like magnesium chloride, which is deliquescent and absorb moisture. So सोडियम क्लोराइड क्यों मॉइस्ट हो जाता है? बिकॉज इसमें क्या प्रेजेंट होता है? इम्प्योरिटी. कौन सी? मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड की. और ये मैग्नीशियम क्लोराइड होता है जो डिलिक्विसेंट होता है, जिसके कारण मॉइस्चर एब्जॉर्ब होता है. देन देयर आर सर्टेन मोर सब्सटेंसेस which absorb moisture from atmosphere at ordinary temperature, but they don't dissolve in it. Such substances are called hygroscopic substances, and this property is called hygroscopy. For example, concentrated sulfuric acid, quicklime, that is calcium oxide, silica gel, phosphorus pentoxide are some hygroscopic substances. So both deliquescent and hygroscopic substances absorb moisture, but deliquescent substances dissolve in moisture to form salt solution, whereas hygroscopic substances do not dissolve in moisture. The substances don't only absorb moisture from air, but certain substances can remove moisture from other substances also. These are called drying agents. So drying agents are the substances which remove moisture from other substances, and they are also called desiccating agents or desiccants. And all hygroscopic substances are desiccating agents. For example, if hydrated copper sulfate is placed near concentrated sulfuric acid, then its color changes from blue into white. It happens because concentrated sulfuric acid is a drying agent, so it absorbs moisture from hydrated copper sulfate and make it anhydrous, which is white in color. Then we have dehydrating agents. These are the substances that can remove water molecules from compounds. They remove chemically combined elements of water, that is hydrogen and oxygen, in the ratio 2:1 from compounds. For example, concentrated sulfuric acid acts as dehydrating agent. And concentrated sulfuric acid is such a compound which acts as both drying as well as dehydrating agent. Let us understand more clearly about dehydrating agents with an example. For that, take some sugar in a beaker and then add a small amount of water into the beaker to make sugar solution. Then slowly and carefully add some concentrated sulfuric acid into the beaker containing sugar. Observe what happens. There will be some effervescence and the mixture starts frothing because of the heat being generated by this exothermic reaction. The black mass formed is pure amorphous carbon called as sugar charcoal. Sugar is a carbohydrate, a compound of carbon and water having molecular formula C12H22O11, and concentrated sulfuric acid removes water from sugar and pure carbon is set free. Therefore, here concentrated sulfuric acid acts as a dehydrating agent. Now let's see some differences between drying agents and dehydrating agents. A drying agent only removes the moisture from other substances that is loosely combined with the substance. But a dehydrating agent removes chemically combined elements of water in the ratio 2:1 from a compound. Secondly, as drying agent remove loosely combined moisture from substance, therefore there is a physical change in the substance. For example, as we earlier discussed that hydrated copper sulfate changes to anhydrous copper sulfate by concentrated sulfuric acid. In this example, there is no any chemical change in copper sulfate, but there is only a physical change in it. But a dehydrating agent chemically changes the substance. For example, C12H22O11, that is sugar, is converted into C, that is sugar charcoal, by concentrated sulfuric acid. Here, sugar is changed into charcoal and this is a chemical change. Then, the drying agents are used to dry gases like chlorine, sulfur dioxide, hydrogen chloride, etc. But the dehydrating agents are used to prepare substances like carbon monoxide, sugar charcoal, etc. Then fourth one is that the chemical formula of a substance remains same if the moisture is absorbed by drying agent. But if dehydrating agent removes the moisture from the substance, then the chemical formula of that substance undergoes a change. Then drying agents are used to dry gases. Let's see a few examples of it. Acidic gases such as sulfur dioxide, hydrogen chloride are dried by passing them through concentrated sulfuric acid. Because this acid has a strong affinity for water, so it extracts water from the acidic gases, thereby making them dry. Basic gases are not dried by concentrated sulfuric acid because it can react with basic gases. So basic gases like ammonia are dried by passing them through drying tower containing calcium oxide, because calcium oxide is basic in nature and it will only remove the moisture of basic gas and will not react with it. The gases can also be dried by passing through a bulb containing anhydrous calcium chloride. Then now as you know that the presence of water of crystallization makes substances crystalline. But in nature there exists many substances जिनमें water of crystallization नहीं होता but फिर भी वो crystalline होते हैं. It means that the crystalline shape of a substance is not necessarily the result of the presence of water of crystallization. For example, the salts like potassium nitrate, potassium chloride, sodium nitrate, etc. are crystalline in nature, but they don't contain any water of crystallization in them.